Hey people in YouTube land, Zach Hall here. Want to bring another Bible review to you guys today. Today we're going to be looking at the Scofield Study Bible 3, produced by Oxford University Press. And so I'm excited to show you guys this Bible. It's a really cool laid out study Bible, and we'll get into it right now. So it comes in a nice two-piece box. It's pretty basic, just tells you everything about it. Gives you a timeline of the Scofield. And then let me see if I can find... Yep, here you go. Here's the ISBN. And as it says there, it's made in Korea. I'll get this open, show you guys the genuine leather cover here. It is definitely a rougher cover. I don't know if it's pigskin or it could be some type of like a really rough top grain cowhide or something like that, but you can hear. So it's nice that you won't scratch it up. It's still pretty flexible. So on the spine here you have all the markings. So you have Holy Bible, Scofield Study System, Red Letter, KJV, and then Oxford. It does come with one gold ribbon marker. The page edges are gilded gold, and this edition is thumb indexed. In their genuine leather covers, I don't think they make anything but thumb index now, so all of them come with thumb indexing. And they do it really good. I like the thumb indexing on this. And as you can see, there's a gold gilt line all the way around the cover. It is a vinyl paste-off liner. You do have some support to the book block here, and that these are glued together. A little bit of it comes up in there. Then you get a couple blank cardstock pages, presentation page, and you get your holy matrimony, births, marriages, and deaths. Then you have the title page to the Scofield Study Bible, another title page. And here's the rights and copyright. And this goes over the contributors here. The original contributors of 1909 and 1917, and then the revision committee of 1967, and then the editor of the 2003 edition. And there's the list of some contents. Then you get the introduction. Now I'll be comparing this to the old Scofield Study Bible. And as far as like when you get right into here, this is pretty much the same. So you'll have an introduction as well. So right there. And as far as I could tell, these both are the same introduction here at the beginning. And this is from Scofield, who wrote this. And then you have a how to study the Bible, the overall plan of the Bible. Like I said, these are also in the old Scofield edition as well. And then I want to compare it's also the genuine leather. So you can see there's kind of a difference in the printing there that's stamped on. This is a nice genuine leather. It also has a gold gilt line as well. And then this one comes with the black and no thumb indexing. So the Scofield 3 is a little bit different as far as the exteriors go. But then we'll get in here and look at Genesis chapter 1. So there's also a book introduction at the beginning that's a lot more in detail compared to the old Scofield. So you also get an outline and everything like that. So we'll see if we can get a good comparison here. So here's the introduction to Genesis there. You can see a lot shorter. And you do get like an outline, but it's in paragraph and it's like included in this. Whereas the outline here is kind of separated out more into a modern layout. Then we get into Genesis chapter 1. So this is a beautiful 8-point font. It is very easy to read, very modern typeset. The spacing is very well done. You can see the cross references. It's laid out in a 4-column format, so you have references on the outside and then your text in the middle, which is nice because then it brings the text out from the gutter, makes it a little bit easier to read. And then right below you have the notes below that as well. Now, the unique thing about the Scofield 3 is that compared to the old Scofield, they do not have a numbering system for the notes at the bottom. So you'll just have to come down here and find the verse that the notes correspond to and then go back up to the verse and look at it. Whereas in the old Scofield, let's see if I can get it open here, they had a number system as well as the little letters in the text. The little letters indicate a cross-reference, and the numbers indicate an actual note at the bottom in the old Scofield. So you can see here 1, 2, and that would correspond to these notes at the bottom. So the way the old Scofield did it was based on the numbering system in the text, whereas the Scofield 3 places these at the bottom and you go find it in the text. So it's a little bit different from that standpoint there. And then you still have the numbers here, or excuse me, the letters in the text that refer to the notes out here. And in this case, the Scofield is not like the Cameo where the references are like right across from where they are. Rather, it's in chronological order. So the A, B, C, D, E, F, C, F is over here. So it's more in chronological order than it is the reference being closest to that page or that verse. Now, there's a little bit more content in the Scofield 3. So they have annotated a little bit, expanded some of the notes. Okay, so we can look in here. You can see on the first page here, we have names of deity, God, the concept of time, things like that. So these notes up here, excuse me, are all the original notes. So the original notes are in here, but they also add in some extra stuff to beef up the study Bible a little bit. And then technically too, I think, let me see. Oh, no, never mind. I thought they page matched them, but they don't. It is different as far as what page you're on. But you can kind of see the general difference here between the layouts. I'll let you guys take a look at that, see which one you like. So the old Scofield has an older typeset. It is very easy to read. I like it. It's very bold, very dark. It's a beautiful font to read. And then this is more of a modern font, still dark, very easy to read. Better spacing, I would say, in this one. A little bit better spacing between the verses and the words. But the old Scofield, by any means, is not hard to read at all. And then the Scofield 3 does still retain the in-text paragraph headers that Scofield had from the old one. And you can kind of see these thumb indexing as well, how it's done. Very, very nicely done. The paper is pretty good in this as well. I've written in this Bible, so it holds up pretty well to like Pigma microns and stuff. Again, that's like the only pen I would really recommend is a Pigma micron if you're gonna do a lot of writing in your Bible. Those are the best Bible marking pens. So you guys just get an idea of the layout here. In like a classic Scofield, the book title and everything is in the middle with the chapter and verse. That's also the same in the old Scofield. So you have the book there in the middle. And then the old Scofield, they separate out where it begins on the page and then where it ends on the page. Here, it just tells you what's actually on the page. So it'll tell you 32:19 through 33:2, even though like 18 technically is still up here. But they'll let you know kind of what pages are included or what verses are included on that page. So you can kind of see the reference system, everything at the bottom. Now the Scofield generally is a pretty light note study Bible. There's definitely places where it's heavier. more because of its dispensational theology. So things like, you get into Matthew 5, you'll have some more notes there. Because it's a proponent of the gap theory and some different stuff, you have a lot more notes at the beginning of Genesis. You also have like a lot of notes in Thessalonians about the rapture and all that stuff. So again, this is definitely a premillennial dispensational slant. So if you're not that, you may not be interested in this. However, there are a lot of good notes besides that. There's a lot of good historical notes, some archaeological notes, some good theological notes. So it's not just all dispensational stuff. A lot of it is also to help explain kind of like what you're reading and what's going on. So it's not just purely dispensational stuff. Now again, I used to be dispensational, kind of moved away from it, but I still love the layout of the Scofield. Still love a lot of the notes in the Scofield. I find them very helpful. It's just a basic study Bible that really kind of helps you kind of get your feet when you're reading the Bible and understand kind of what you're reading, what's going on. And so you can see, because of these title pages, every book will begin on a new page, which is really nice. So you can even use this to take some notes as well. So you can see here, got some notes in Zechariah here on Kingdom of the Old Testament. So there's a lot of notes in the places where you think there'd be, and then not a lot of notes in the places you would hope to see some stuff. You do have a little bit about the 4 Gospels here before you get into Matthew. And then this is not a self-pronouncing text. So you take a look at that. It is red letter. And another cool thing is that they include is they put maps in here a lot of times of what's going on historically, or for example, this is like about Jesus's birth and then when they left into Egypt. So, and that's right here during the birth of Jesus. So they have a lot of helpful maps as well to kind of help you kind of get an idea of where you are in the biblical world and kind of where things are taking place. So that's a nice feature. So here's a red letter. It is, it's showing up a little bit brighter on the camera. It's a lot, it shouldn't say a lot more, but it is duller on to the natural eye. It's a very good red. Maybe if I can get some black in here, that'll help. Yeah, I would say it's showing up a little bit brighter in this one. Now I'll show you the red letter in the old Scofield here. So it's a good red. It's definitely red. It's a bold red, but I would say it's a pretty good one. You can see it lays flat mostly. Now I haven't used this as much, but you could even see there back in Genesis it's still laying pretty flat. It'll take a time to kind of break in a little bit, but eventually this will lay completely flat. It breaks in pretty well. And then see, you have things in here like parables in the Synoptic Gospels. This isn't included in the old Scofield. So there's a lot more content in here that kind of beefs this study Bible up. So if you're someone who uses the old Scofield, and you kind of wish there's a little bit more into it, you might want to check this one out. I think there's definitely a lot more helps in here that would kind of just aid you in your study. It's just a clean text. I mean, it's really well done. So we'll get to the end here. And I believe this is a red letter throughout Revelation. Yep. So then, of course, you're gonna have a lot more notes in Revelation. And then you got a list here in the back of what this comes with. So you got a complete index to subject chain references, subject index, index proper names, concise KJV concordance, and then index to color maps. So everything here is pretty much the same as in the old Scofield. So there's nothing new here. It's just reformatted, a little bit more modern, a little bit easier to use. You get that standard concordance that Oxford's known for. Really good concordance. I believe it's about 196 pages on the concordance. So a lot of entries, a lot of information. And when you get to the back, you're gonna get the Oxford maps. And these are really well done. This is on it's not cardstock. It feels like that a little bit, but it's just thinner. It's like in between Bible paper and cardstock. So it's still got some, you know, bend to it. It's not stiff like cardstock. So I kind of like what this is printed on. It's really nice. And there's a lot of maps in the back here. Oh, there we go. And so they don't really do anything though with the route of the Exodus. So they just have a background of the Exodus. So I mean that's kind of, I mean, you know, you could probably draw your own route, which would be kind of cool, you know, because a lot of times the study Bibles get it wrong anyways. So, but there are some pretty cool maps, very well detailed. Everything's pretty easy to read. It's nice dark font. The colors are really well done. So these are really usable maps. And you get a couple cardstock pages there at the end. Final paste off liner. And so one comparison I did want to make to this guy, and this thing's pretty cool. My former assistant pastor, he used this Bible daily, and it held up really well. Broken, really neat. Laid flat. The leather broken really well. And like I said, this thing is meant to be used. It's rugged. It's tough. It's meant to be used. And one comparison I kind of want to make is another popular dispensation study Bible, which is the Ryrie. Okay. Now the Scofield is my zone. The Ryrie is kind of in a transition. A lot of people comment that their edition is, and then some people say, oh, their edition isn't. So I don't know if they're like switching over to my zone binding. But my copy is not. It's just glue bound. But it does have a nice genuine leather cover. It's a lot softer than the Scofield. But when we open this up, you can kind of see the layout is close to the same. The font in the Ryrie is definitely bigger. So you can take a look at that. And the spacing is really nice. The margins are a little bit wider in the Ryrie, so you could take a lot of notes. That's what I used it for. This thing is a secret wide margin Bible. I think they actually, I'd say secret, I think they actually do mention that in like on the box that it has wide margins for notes. So they definitely did it on purpose so you could take notes in this thing. And I'll show you actually in Ecclesiastes where I did that. But this would be kind of the two big dispensational study Bibles out there on the market. Of course, you have the companion study Bible as well. And then the Dakes is, I think, technically dispensational. So you can see I took quite a bit of notes there in the margin. So this thing is a great wide margin. If you're someone that likes to take notes in their Bible, I would give a slight edge to the Ryrie. The paper is about the same quality. So, you know, I wouldn't, there's really not an advantage there. There is definitely room to take notes in the Scofield, especially if the references are a little bit lighter, you know. But when you get into the New Testament, sometimes you get, you know, a page where it's loaded with references like that, and it's a little bit harder to take some notes. But it's not impossible. But you see that, like that'd be a lot harder to take notes. And then, you know, in the Ryrie here, where it's got a lot more wide margin room. And so these two, the Ryrie also has maps in it, a lot of historical, archaeological notes, cultural background notes. So I like a lot of the notes in the Scofield, or excuse me, in the Ryrie. And then it's also red letter. The red letter is really nice. I'd say I like the red letter in the Ryrie a little bit better than I do in the Scofield. But then at the back here, you get a ton of stuff in the Ryrie. And I would encourage you, if you're interested in the Ryrie, then I have a full review on this, but I'm just going to flip through this real quick. But you have like a synopsis of Bible doctrine. You have like church history articles back here, inspiration of the Bible, understanding the Bible, how we got our Bible, the meaning and blessings of salvation, archaeology and the Bible. So there's just tons of articles here in the back. Yeah, there's a survey of church history. So if you're someone who, loves information, loves to get into some deeper things, then, you may want to check out the Ryrie. I think it's a great option. Now, again, it is glue bound, so I've only had this thing for probably 6 months. It's holding up pretty well, but, just be aware of that. Now, this is something, because it is a wide margin, if you got a rebound, they could definitely stitch that text block, and I think you'd be totally fine. But this is my review of the Scofield 3 Study Bible from Oxford University Press. Great update. Again, all the original notes are in here, so you don't have to worry about like them taking out notes or anything like that. The only thing is they added a little bit more to beef it up, kind of made the layout a little bit more user-friendly, added some maps, some historical stuff, some more theological terms and explanations. The references are pretty much the same. So there's a lot of good things. I updated page introductions, book introductions. So there's a lot of good things going on with this new Scofield. So if you guys are interested, I would encourage you, check it out. This isn't an expensive Bible at all. It's, I think, about $60. If you have a Mardel's by you too, typically Mardel's has a 30% off coupon on their website, and you can get this thing for about probably $40. Christianbook.com is another great option to go look at that. I think they actually just got a new shipment of these in, so you might want to go check that out as well. But that'd be the two cheapest places to get it. Other than that, I think it's about $60 or $70 from Oxford's website. So if you wanted to go there, you could get it from there as well. But that's my review, guys, of the Scofield 3 Study Bible. Hopefully it was helpful. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please leave those down there in the comment section below. I'd be happy to talk to you and hopefully get you guys some answers. Or if you just like the review, you can let me know that as well. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. God bless.